I hate to say this in public, but I'm down on like fucking charities and shit.
Well,
because they don't get the fucking money either unless you donate to St. Jude or something like that. You know, some guy's driving a BMW, and the people I sent the money to, you know, and it's happened to us. We saw it, we gave money, and nothing happens, and you're like, what the fuck, guys? So now you just give it direct.
Have you ever seen those charts that show like what the money you give to charity, how much actually goes to the cause? How much of it is just overhead? It's in some places it's like 90%.
It's ridiculous.
So it's like 10% of the money goes to the charity. It's a very inefficient thing. And then you have things where the people that are running it are making enormous salaries. And then they're like, look at the Black Lives Matter thing, where the girls were buying $6 million houses. Like, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And like, oh, we use this for events. It's just that happens with so many charities and so many charitable organizations. And then there's charitable organizations like there's foundations that are set up just as tax breaks. So there's like tax breaks involved if you have a foundation that's a charitable foundation that works towards good causes, like maybe climate change or maybe, you know, something along those lines, health, you know, the global health. And then you get involved in that, and it's a nice way to avoid paying taxes. You move money around. You put money in the foundation. You can kind of move it around. You know, it's these guys that are involved in charitable organizations. The thought behind it is beautiful. Like, wouldn't it be great if people donated all this money to charity and we could fix a lot of things? But what you're really doing in a lot of ways is you're pumping up the business of these charities. And then they pump up their advertising revenue, they pump up their social media profile, their campaigns, their this, their that. And then they get co-opted. They get co-opted by companies, corporations, pharmaceutical companies, different mandates and narratives that they'd like to promote. And next thing you know, charitable organizations are a part of the propaganda machine. And it's all being funded by enormous amounts of money. And most of that money does not go to the actual cause itself.
It sucks.
Have you ever seen the charts? Pull up a chart of where the money goes. Try to find out see if there's a good chart that shows like
when I was
various like Red Cross, all these different.
I bumped into a nun once when I was going to Catholic school, and she told me that when people are looking for you for help, like when they're on the side of the street and they're asking you for help, that could be Jesus in disguise. So it fucked my world up. So I started donating as a kid. The first person I donated to was the black kid with the flies on him that they sent you the picture.
Yeah, Sally Struthers.
He wrote a letter. And
Kinnison had that bit about it.
And then I never got nothing after that. I'm writing letters. Nobody's writing me back. I want to know if the kid made it to the 6th grade. I was so fucking pissed as a kid. And then I would do the Heart Association walks. Like, that was my shit. And trust me, I skimmed off the top. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I would go to my mother's bar and I'd make them give me like $10 a mile. Come on.
Right.
You know, I would show up with like $3,000 and think I was a good kid. Finally, like after like the 3rd year, I'm like, they're gonna get light this year. I'm making $3,000 fucking dollars here.
So look at the Red Cross. What's that?
I had it on a better website.
That wasn't too bad.
It's pretty small though.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Let's see what we got here. What percentage?
It's Syracuse.
Okay. So this shows you all the money that comes in and how much of it actually goes to programs and how much of it goes to administration and how much of it goes to fundraising. So Red Cross looks pretty fucking good. Red Cross shows it's like 90% of the money goes to programs. Only 3.5% goes to administrative and 6% goes to fundraising. So this is what we donated to. Remember when we did those shows in San Diego right after the fire? And I'm like, we can't take money from these people. They just had this massive fire. Let's just donate all the money. So we donated the money to Red Cross because that seemed to be the best one. St. Jude's, 72%. And then it gets, when you start going down the line, it starts getting sketchy.
Oh, most of these are... But this one,
they're pretty good.
Wounded
Warrior is a little weird.
34% back into fundraising.
Yeah, but you know they still at least 60% of it, or close to 60% of it, goes to the actual programs. What's the worst ones though, Jim?
Yeah, the worst ones was a different chart.
This is a different chart. I want to see the worst ones. Okay. Those are good ones. Red Cross has always been thought of as one of the best ones.
The worst ones, I think.
In terms of the amount of money that actually goes to the cause.
are mostly UK charities, though.
Do they have American ones
Let me take-
or worldwide ones? Let's see that one.
Where is it going?
That just shows what people are spending on.
About worst charity.
The worst in terms of the amount of money that goes towards the cause.
This isn't. I have a
The top
breakdown.
10 worst charities. It says Kids Wish Network is number 1. Disabled police officers, 4.4% goes to program expenses, and 94% goes to professional fundraising fees. That's crazy. Disabled police officers counseling center, 94% of it goes to fundraising fees? That's bonkers.
These are in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Right away, you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I see what's going on. Look at the Cancer Survivors Fund. Hey, they survived. That's what they get. 9% goes to programs. 87% goes to fundraising.
And they also, I think a lot of times they make their name something close to like the good one. Like there's probably a really good firefighters foundation that's not.
Right. And they call themselves the Firefighters Charitable Foundation.
Yeah.
Only 7% goes to the program. 85% goes to professional fundraising fees. What does that even mean? Professional fundraising fees. But a lot of them are like that. But you got to also think, if you're going to run a charity, you got to pay people something. Kids Wish Network. Look at this. They raised $127 million. They paid to solicitors $109 million. And they spent percentage on direct cash aid to the actual kids is 2.5%. 2.5%. Look at the Cancer Fund of America. Less than 1% went to the actual thing, direct cash aid. But when this is direct cash aid and paid to solicitors, who's the solicitors? Who counts as a solicitor there? Does that mean paid to the organization? And then they only pay out that much to the people?
Soliciting costs. That'd be probably trying to buy
Overhead.
fundraising. Yeah.
It's overhead. It's everything, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's mostly a scam. Look at the fucking International Union of Police Associations. Look at that one.
That's the reason I quit.
0.5%.
That's why I quit.
That's crazy.
I worked for the cops. That's when I found out. 3 years I worked for the cops, doing donations on the phone after I got arrested. I started in Boulder. And when I went to Seattle, I did it there. And then up in Seattle, I found out what the cops were getting. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. You give me $50, I'm giving you a sticker for the back of your cars. When you get pulled over, they know that you donate. And these guys were showing up in Maseratis every day. The two owners. And I'm like, fuck you.
It's like the thing in L.A. with the homeless. You know,
Fuck you.
Coleon Noir sent me hit to that. He told me they were getting like 6-figure salaries. I'm like, no way. And some of them are making $240,000 a year.
Yeah, no.
Taking care of the homeless.
Yeah.
That is not being taken care of. They're not doing anything about it.
No.